Today is Friday, January 3rd, 2025. We got a major winter storm that is brewing for this weekend, bringing a major snowstorm, crippling ice storm, and a severe weather outbreak to the deep south. We're going to give you everything that you need to know in this weather forecast, so make sure to check back often for updates and subscribe to the channel so you have all the information that you need to move forward with this winter storm this weekend and throughout the winter. Also, like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. High temperatures this afternoon. It was definitely a cold one up across the north. Temperatures in the single digits to the teens, and we definitely did see that across the north. We had 20s across the Ohio Valley and into the northeast, and a little bit warmer down to the south. Here are your wind chills this afternoon. Double digits below zero, into the teens below zero up here into North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin. So it is definitely a day to get those winter jackets out across the north. Now we're priming our atmosphere for our winter storm heading into the weekend, as that colder air is only going to hang around both into Saturday and Sunday. Look at all the cold air on the back side of that low pressure there in the central and southern plains. Those are temperatures 30 degrees below normal for early January. And you know it's cold because January is one of the coldest months across the United States as a whole. Here are your weather alerts across the country, and notice where we have winter weather advisories from South Dakota into Nebraska and Kansas, winter storm warnings from southeast Nebraska into parts of Kansas, a couple counties there in Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. Also over here into Pennsylvania, Maryland, and West Virginia. And then in the blues, those are winter storm watches. Those will likely be converted over to warnings here shortly. And ice storm warnings across southeast Missouri, where we're gearing up for a crippling ice storm heading into the weekend. So let's look here at what we expect this afternoon. Higher elevation snow across the Pacific Northwest. Some of that will make its way in towards Montana as well. Lower elevation rain there. So Portland, Seattle, and Northwest California likely to see some of the heavier rainfall. Heading into tonight, temperatures will cool. A lot of that rain will turn over to snow in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to pile up some of that snow as we go into tonight. There comes the low pressure there on Saturday, 1,002 millibars on the Colorado-New Mexico state line. Cold side of the storm bringing some snowfall up there into the Rockies and into parts of South Dakota and Nebraska. Keeping an eye on freezing drizzle developing throughout Saturday morning, afternoon there across Kansas. That'll be light, and then starting to see more moderate precipitation developing across Kansas Saturday night. That could spread into portions of Missouri. That would be a mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Rain further to the south, we'll be watching there into Sunday. Some of this could be severe weather with the frontal boundary moving through. That will be a cold front. Could be bringing some significant severe weather into parts of the Arklatex region there on Sunday. Look at the snowfall on the northern side. Very significant. Kansas City towards St. Louis and Indianapolis. Very heavy snow. Just to the south of there, we have sleet in the orange, and in the pinks, those are freezing rain areas where we could expect some significant crippling ice as we go into Sunday and Sunday night. Look at that ice storm moving across southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, into West Virginia. Some cold air damming in western North Carolina could change some of that rain over to freezing rain as well. We still have some strong thunderstorms moving through Dixie Alley, so Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana down toward New Orleans on Sunday night. And then that system finally wraps up on Monday, bringing a mixture of rain, snow, sleet, freezing rain, you name it, across the mid-Atlantic on Monday. And then by Tuesday, we'll clear out and just have a couple of clipper systems moving through the country. This is going to be a major snowstorm across the United States from the Central Plains through parts of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and into the Mid-Atlantic, and the likes of which places like Indianapolis hasn't seen a snowstorm like this, especially if they get 10 to 12 inches of snow in a one-day period since 2009. So it's definitely one of the more rare winter storms across the Ohio Valley, the biggest in several years. We could be easily laying out 8 to 12 inches here in some of these areas, possibly even higher than 12 inches, and then a significant crippling ice storm on the southern side here, and we could be seeing ice amounts of a half an inch, maybe even 3/4 of an inch of ice, especially where those ice storm warnings are in southeast Missouri. I even expect some of those ice storm warnings to extend eastward into southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and perhaps northern Kentucky as we get closer to this event. This is a major winter storm, and major travel implications are expected across these regions in the red as we go through this weekend and into the Monday timeframe. In the orange, those are moderate travel interruptions, and then in the yellow, those are minor. But I expect those to kind of transfer from west to east. So we're going to start to see more of those oranges and reds over there into more of the Ohio Valley and into the Mid-Atlantic as we go deeper into the weekend. Let's look at the warm side of the system. Severe weather outbreak is definitely in play. Would not be ruling out an enhanced risk upgrade as we get closer to Sunday. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center's Day 3 outlook has a widespread area in the yellow of a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather as far north as Memphis, into Little Rock, Shreveport, Houston Metroplex area, into the Lake Charles region. This also includes Monroe, Alexandria, and Baton Rouge, over into New Orleans, Jackson, Mississippi, up toward Tupelo. So this is a widespread area of some severe weather, damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes will be in play. This is also going to be dropping some pretty heavy rainfall on the warmer side of the system. Could be seeing over an inch of rain across Dixie Alley here, so definitely a nice soaking for that. And that could lead to some flash flooding in isolated instances across this region from the Tennessee Valley down here south and west toward coastal Texas, toward the Houston area, Sunday into Monday on January 5th and 6th. So be watching out if you have flash flood warnings. Make sure to seek higher ground. If you have tornado warnings, seek lower ground. That is what we were expecting for the weekend. Heading into next week, behind this storm system, big dump of cold air from Tuesday to January 7th through Sunday, January 12th. Second week of January, going to be very cold across the central and the eastern United States, and drier as well overall when you average out all 5 of these days between Tuesday and Sunday. Arctic air's dry air. We're going to push that storm track a little bit further to the south, and looking at the latest guidance, our jet stream by the middle of next week on Wednesday, January 8th, a cutoff low pressure down here near the Baja of California, northwestern Mexico. It will continue to remain cut off on Friday before ejecting across the southern U.S. by later next weekend on Sunday, January 12th. This could bring plenty of dynamics for, we have the cold air in place, the moisture, we may be seeing some southern snow as we go in toward next weekend, and we could be seeing that across New Mexico, into West Texas, and yes, even into northern Mexico, could be seeing some snow according to the European model, and even the GFS model is showing it down there as far south as northern Mexico too with that snowfall. So, and that could transfer some snow all the way up into Tennessee here again, and into Virginia, maybe even Arkansas as we go into later next week. We'll keep you updated on that. The Climate Prediction Center came out with their experimental week 3 and 4 temperature outlook today from January 18th through the end of the month through January 31st. Another dump of cold air across the central and eastern U.S. will ensure winter will continue, and then we have the positive P&A across the Pacific Southwest, and what that means is we're going to have a ridge of high pressure off the west coast that will bring warmer temperatures out across the west. Very active jet stream, though. The Pacific Northwest will remain very active. The East Coast will remain active. And this is a prime atmosphere for potentially an East Coast snowstorm. So don't give up hope if you're on the Northeast coastline from the I-95 corridor, Boston, New York City, all the way down to Trenton. There could definitely be some doozies of snowstorms in this pattern. And then we're turning drier across Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Southwest Oklahoma during the second half of January. We'll keep you covered on the major winter storm with major snowstorm and a crippling ice storm expected this weekend. Cold temperatures, Arctic invasion on the backside. Keep you updated. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on all post notifications so you are notified for videos, live streams, and anything here in the future. Like the video by giving it a thumbs up. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Friday out there.